bustling urban life juxtaposed against, but the ocean was where he felt most alive. He had heard about the famous diving spots around Brisbane and was eager to explore the underwater wonders. On a recommendation, Hendrik chartered a private boat. The engine's vibration seemed to unsettle the shark. With a final thrash of its powerful tail, the majestic predator released its grip and disappeared into the deep blue, leaving Hendrik shaken and injured but alive. Captain Mike's crew pulled him to safety, their relief palpable. After Captain Mike's crew pulled Hendrik to safety, they wasted no time in assessing his injuries. They had a trained medical team on board, well prepared for such emergencies. The team quickly surrounded Hendrik, their faces masked with determination. Still reeling from the encounter with the tiger shark, Hendrik felt a mixture of pain and relief wash over him. The medical team worked swiftly to stabilize him, administering first aid to his injured leg. They cleaned and dressed the wounds to prevent infection, and carefully assessed the extent of the damage. Once his injuries were stabilized as much as possible in the field, the crew prepared for the next critical step. Hendrik needed more comprehensive medical attention, and that meant transporting him to a nearby hospital on the mainland. Captain Mike radioed for assistance, and soon a medical evacuation helicopter was dispatched to their location. With utmost care, the medical team transferred Hendrik from the boat to the helicopter. The pilot wasted no time, and the helicopter lifted off, carrying Hendrik away from the ocean that had nearly claimed him. Upon landing at the hospital, Hendrik was rushed into the second chance at life, thanks to the dedication and expertise of those who had come to his rescue. Hendrik's encounter with the tiger shark would forever be etched in his memory, a testament to the fragility and resilience of the human spirit. And as he drifted into unconsciousness, he knew that he owed his survival to the unwavering commitment of those who had been by his side when he needed them most. Recognizing him as the brave individual from the previous day, Johan nodded and the two struck up a conversation. Amin shared stories of his own experiences with the marine life of Serenity Sands Beach, emphasizing the importance of understanding and respecting the creatures of the deep. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of purple and gold, Amin suggested a local ritual they performed to seek protection from the sea spirits, inviting Johan to join them that night. Intrigued and seeking closure, Johan, as the tide carried it away, he felt a sense of release, as if the ocean accepted his offering and gradually regaining his understanding the movements and behaviors of its creatures. On his last day in Serenity Sands Beach, Johan stood at the water's edge, looking out at the vast expanse. The memories of the tiger shark encounter were fresh, but they no longer held power over him. Instead, they served as a reminder of the delicate balance between man and nature. As he boarded the plane back to South Africa, Johan carried with him memories of a vacation and a profound understanding of the ocean's mysteries. The Maldives had given him more than just picturesque views. It had taught him respect, resilience, and the importance of coexistence. Back home, Johan often recounted his Maldivian adventure not as a tale of danger, but as a journey of self-discovery and understanding. The tiger shark, once a symbol of fear, had become a beacon of enlightenment. This morning, Johan found himself drawn to the ocean once again. The vast expanse of blue, which had been a source of both wonder and fear, beckoned him. He decided to take a walk, hoping to clear his mind and come to terms with the previous day's events. As he strolled along the beach, the rhythmic sound of the waves brought a sense. On a whim, Johan and under Yasser's guidance, they set out the next day, with Johan's apprehension replaced by a newfound determination. The dive was transformative. Yasser introduced Johan to various marine habitats, ensuring they maintained a safe distance from potential threats. They marveled at the vibrant coral reefs and playful dolphins, and even spotted a few docile reef sharks. The world beneath the waves was a symphony of colors and life. Towards the end of their dive, they again encountered a tiger shark. But this time, under Yasser's calm guidance, Johan observed the creature from a distance, admiring its grace and power without feeling threatened. It was a moment of reconciliation, a silent understanding between man and beast. Upon returning to the surface, Johan felt a weight lifted off his shoulders. The fear and trauma of his previous encounter had been replaced by respect and admiration for the marine world. His remaining days in the Maldives were filled with exploration and learning. Under Yasser's mentorship, Johan honed his diving skills and gained a deeper understanding of marine conservation and the importance of preserving the ocean's delicate ecosystems. As Johan prepared to leave the Maldives, he realized that this trip had been more than a vacation. It was a journey of healing and growth. The tiger shark, once a symbol of his fears, had become a reminder of the lessons the ocean had taught him. Back in South Africa, Johan became an advocate for marine perspective, and he was determined to make a difference, ensuring that future generations could experience the ocean's wonders just as he had. Taken him to various coastal regions. But Hawaii was different. Peter decided to visit the mystical azure beach of Oahu, renowned for its massive waves and vibrant surfing community. Armed with his camera and notebook, Peter spent his day. Under Kaleo's watchful eye, he learned the basics on the shore before venturing into the shallows. As the afternoon sun cast a golden glow on the waters, Peter managed to catch a small wave. The thrill was exhilarating. Encouraged, he paddled further out, seeking a bigger challenge. But the ocean, in all its majesty, is unpredictable. While waiting for the next wave, Peter noticed a shadow beneath the water. Before he could react, a massive tiger shark emerged, its unmistakable stripes glinting in the sunlight. Panic surged through Peter as the shark circled him, its intent unclear movements. He locked eyes with the creature, trying to gauge its next move. In a heart-stopping moment, the shark brushed against his board, its rough skin grazing Peter's fingers. Using his surfboard as a barrier, Peter slowly began to paddle towards the shore while keeping an eye on the shark. The creature seemed to lose interest, and gradually swam into the deeper waters. Reaching the shore, Peter was met with a crowd of onlookers who had witnessed the encounter. Kaleo rushed forward, relief evident on his face. The beach was abuzz with whispers, the tale of the South African journalist and his close encounter already becoming the stuff of local legend. As the sun set on the mystical azure beach, Peter sat on the beach, the day's events replay a story he'd never forget. The islands had shown him the allure and the ocean's raw power. The days following the encounter were transformative for Peter. The mystical azure beach became his sanctuary with its pristine beaches and clear waters. Every sunrise, he would find a quiet spot on the beach, meditate and reflect on his experiences. As the days turned into weeks, Peter's journal was filled with sketches, notes, and reflections about the marine life he encountered, and the profound respect he had developed for the ocean. His writings were not just observations, but deep philosophical musings on man's relationship with nature. While Peter was engrossed in his writing one day, and music, artists from all over the world had come to showcase their work, and the atmosphere was electric with creativity. Peter was particularly drawn to a unique blend of art and philosophy. His depiction of the tiger shark, not as a fearsome predator, concluded, Peter was approached by a publisher who expressed interest in turning his. Peter also made sure to enjoy the last few days' additional crafts. As his time in Hawaii came to an end, Peter boarded his flight back to South Africa with a heart full of memories of a man's close encounter with a tiger shark. It was a profound exploration of humanity's relationship with the mystical azure beach. The ocean's allure was irresistible. Port Elson was renowned for its golden beaches, diverse marine life, and a growing reputation for tiger shark sightings. While the town thrived on tales of close encounters with these magnificent creatures, none resonated as deeply as for the ocean was evident, and he often ventured out to swim, snorkel, and explore the marine world. On a particularly warm morning with them and the day promised excellent visibility time, Lucy noticed a large shadow moving gracefully beneath them. Pointing it out to Daniel, they soon realized they were in the presence of a tiger shark. Its majestic stripes and powerful build were as he swam closer, the shark's demeanor changed. Perhaps sensing a potential threat, it turned and made a beeline for Daniel. Lucy watched in horror from a distance as the shark closed in, its intent clear. In a swift move, it lunged at Daniel, causing a flurry of bubbles and sand. Moments later, Daniel resurfaced, gasping for breath, with visible marks on his leg. Having made its point, the shark disappeared into the ocean in Port Elson. As locals gathered around Daniel, eager for first-hand details, he managed to convey a simple yet profound with many questions. Was this tiger shark the same one from the old tales? Had Daniel's adventurous spirit taken him too close to danger? And what implications would this event have for the town's relationship with the sea? A palpable tension marked the following days in Port Elson. The beaches, usually bustling with activity, saw the incident with Daniel had stirred something in the town, a mix of fear and respect for the eyes, and the feeling of vulnerability when it approached him. Lucy, recognizing Daniel's internal struggle, organized a community, stressing the significance of comprehending shark behavior and respecting their habitat. He recounted stories that had been passed down through generations, tales of the town's harmonious connection with the sea and its inhabitants. He emphasized the importance of remembering that every positive or negative encounter carries lessons. According to him, these encounters served as reminders of nature's immense power, and months turned into years, and life in Port Elson gradually returned to normal. The incident with the tiger shark became a part of the town's lore, a story of man's encounter with nature's raw power. With his newfound respect for the ocean, Daniel started a community program teaching young ones about marine life, safety, and coexistence. Modern workplace. Engaged in meticulous scrutiny of a complex electrical schematic, Mark's concentration was interrupted when a knock resonated at the door. He had been selected for an all-expenses-paid trip to Ningaloo Reef, a location known for its captivating beauty and marine wonderland, a place where the deep blue sea met vibrant coral gardens. It was home to an array of marine life, including bull sharks, powerful predators with a reputation for aggression and fearsome jaws. As they approached the reef, their anticipation grew. The crystal-clear waters revealed a mesmerizing world beneath the surface. Schools of colorful fish danced around the coral gardens, their scales glinting in the sunlight. Mark watched with awe as his daughter Lily marveled at the underwater wonders with wide-eyed amazement. The stresses of work melted away, and he couldn't help but share in her sense of wonder. Unbeknownst to the sharks moved through the water with an eerie grace, their streamlined bodies cutting through the liquid medium like torpedoes. As the family admired a particularly mesmerizing school of fish, the sharks seized their chance. In an instant, the two bull sharks lunged at the unsuspecting family. The attack was swift and merciless. One of the sharks clamped its powerful jaws onto Mark's leg, and a surge of pain unlike anything he'd ever felt coursed through him. The world went dark as he struggled to stay afloat, disoriented and in agony. Linda, watching in sheer horror, felt a crushing dread as she witnessed her husband in the jaws of the sharks. Her heart raced and her ears were filled with the deafening rush of bubbles and commotion. The sea was a battlefield, and Linda fought back her fear with every fiber of her being. Her snorkeling gear became a makeshift weapon, and with every strike against one of the sharks, she felt a mixture of terror and fierce determination. The second shark, however, was unrelenting, its dark eyes fixated on its prey. The underwater battle was a chaotic frenzy of splashing bubbles and thrashing fins. Mark, trapped in the grip of the shark, experienced crimson as Mark's blood mingled with the sea, and Linda fought desperately to free her husband. Her cries for help pierced through the underwater chaos, alerting nearby snorkelers who rushed to their aid. Together, they formed a protective human barrier around Mark, using every ounce of their strength to keep the sharks at bay. Amid the chaos, their young daughter, Lily, managed to swim safely to a nearby boat. Her heart raced as she frantically called for help. Her distress call reached the authorities, triggering the swift response of a nearby rescue team. Back on their boat, Linda and the other snorkelers were, and each passing minute was crucial. The scent of salt water and the roar of the helicopter's blades filled the air but Mark's determination to reunite with his family remained unyielding. As the weeks turned into months, Mark was confined to a hospital bed, his body weakened and his leg immobilized. The once devoted electrician now had to confront the physical and emotional scars left by the encounter. Was not just about survival. It was a testament to the enduring bond of family. The reward given to him by his company had brought them to Ningaloo Reef. A place that would forever hold especially set him apart was his ability to get up close and personal with nature's most awe-inspiring creatures. His encounters with grizzlies, giant anacondas, and great white sharks had captivated millions of viewers. They were drawn not only to the stunning imagery by one of his dedicated subscribers, and was straightforward yet fraught with danger. Location was a breathtaking stretch of the Coral Sea, known for its crystal-clear waters and vibrant marine life. As Jack descended beneath the surface, the initial moments were accompanied by the soft hum of the ocean, a soothing symphony that enveloped him. The gentle swaying of the coral formations resembled a carefully choreographed dance. The heat of the Australian sun bore down on him as he ventured further from the safety of the boat. The allure of the challenge was undeniable, but so was the fear that gripped him. The encounter with the bull sharks hung over him like a storm cloud, creating a palpable tension in the water. Jack wore a small underwater camera to capture the daring adventure for his viewers. Sharks, still lurking in the Australian waters, remained the undisputed rulers of their domain, and Jack had survived their perilous challenge, forever marked by the picturesque beach in Brazil. The azure waves lapped gently against the golden sands, while a warm breeze rustled the palm trees that lined the shore. It was the ideal setting for a tropical getaway, and little did they know that their tranquil evening would soon turn. As they sailed further from the coast, the city's skyline became a distant silhouette. The water changed from a pale blue to a deeper azure, signaling their arrival at the diving spot. Hendrik, geared up and ready, took a moment to breathe in the salty air before diving in. The underwater world was mesmerizing. Schools of colorful fish darted around, and the coral formations stood tall like ancient monuments. Hendrik was in his element, moving fluidly with the currents, capturing the beauty with his underwater camera. About an hour into the dive, as Hendrik was engrossed in observing a cluster of clownfish, he felt a sudden shift in the water's movement. Turning around, he came face to face with a massive tiger shark, its unmistakable stripes making it stand out against the blue backdrop. In the depths of the ocean, Hendrik's heart raced as he found himself face to face with a formidable predator. Minutes felt like hours as he watched the massive tiger shark circle him, its predatory instincts keenly focused on the intruder in its territory. Hendrik had always been an adventurous soul, but this encounter had taken an unexpected turn. He had been exploring the vibrant coral reefs off the coast of Australia, his curiosity leading him to venture deeper into the cerulean abyss. There he encountered this apex predator, a creature that commanded respect and awe from even the most seasoned marine enthusiasts. The tiger shark's distinctive stripes, shimmering in the dappled sunlight filtering through the water, moved with a grace that belied its deadly reputation. Hendrik's heart pounded in his chest, his pulse reverberating in his ears as he tried to stay calm, knowing that any sudden movements could spell disaster. After what felt like an eternity, the shark's snout brushed against Hendrik's leg. The rough texture of its skin left a series of abrasions on his calf, and at that moment perhaps the shark perceived him as a threat. It darted forward, jaws gaping wide, and Hendrik barely had time to react. His heart seemed to stop as the shark's powerful jaws clamped onto his lower leg, teeth sinking into his wetsuit. Pain coursed through him as he fought the urge to panic. Summoning every ounce of courage, Hendrik tried to pry his leg from the shark's grasp. His hands scrambled against the predator's rough skin, his mind racing for a way out of this dangerous situation. Just when the situation seemed at its most dire, a glimmer of hope appeared. From the periphery of his vision, Hendrik spotted the silhouette of a dive boat approaching. Captain Mike's crew from the company had organized his. At that moment, the camera seemed like a weight pulling him deeper into the abyss. The depths were inky black below, and Jack's heartbeat quickened as the underwater world unveiled itself. The silence of the deep was profound, punctuated only by the sound of his breathing through the regulator, a rhythmic reminder of his isolation in the watery realm. Minutes turned into a nerve-wracking eternity, and then it happened. Emerging from the darkness below, two monstrous bull sharks glided toward him with malevolent grace. Their presence was intimidating, their dorsal fins slicing through the water like knives. Jack watched them approach, their movements synchronized, their predatory intent unmistakable. As the sharks circled him, their muscular forms passed within arm's reach. He could see their rows of serrated teeth and the malevolence in their cold, unfeeling eyes. His heart raced and his body tensed, knowing that any sudden move could provoke a deadly attack. The sensation of his heart pounding seemed to echo through his entire body, a relentless rhythm in the face of danger. With each pass, the sharks ventured closer, their eyes never leaving him. The sensory details were overwhelming. The subtle brush of their dermal denticles as they slid by, the low-frequency hum of their movements reverberating through the water, and the unmistakable metallic scent of salt water filling his nose, a pungent reminder of the predatory presence surrounding him. Jack's pulse pounded in his ears, and he knew he had to stay composed. But then, without warning, they struck. Jack felt the agonizing pressure of their teeth sinking into his arm and leg, and pain coursed through him like fire, every nerve ending ablaze with searing discomfort. In that harrowing moment, he was face to face with the savage jaws of nature, unable to escape. The danger was real, and his life hung by a thread. The sharks showed no sign of releasing their grip. Jack knew he had to do something drastic, his mind racing as he fought to keep his wits about him. Summoning all his strength and desperation, he began to kick and thrash. Using his free arm, he punched the sharks in the snout with every ounce of power he could muster. The sharks, momentarily disoriented by the unexpected attack, were forced to release their hold, their frustration evident in the way they darted back, still menacing but momentarily foiled. With his injuries causing searing pain, Jack kicked and swam as fast as his battered body could manage, making a desperate bid for the surface. The sharks, enraged and frustrated, continued to pursue him, their formidable presence never more apparent. Jack's vision blurred with each stroke, but his determination was unwavering. As he neared the surface, he could see the silhouette of the boat above. The crew, alerted by the commotion, hurriedly extended a ladder into the water. With a final burst of energy, Jack reached the ladder, his body trembling and his vision insights about the bull shark's behavior, habitat, and the utmost importance of adhering to safety protocols. With their wetsuits on and hearts racing with excitement, the Williams family set out in a sturdy dive boat that took them to a secret location known only to a few brave souls. As the family descended into the depths of the ocean, they marveled at the vibrant coral reef formation surrounding them. The colors were more vivid than any of their previous dives, and the crystal-clear water provided a mesmerizing view of marine life. Schools of fish darted through the corals, and the occasional sea turtle gracefully glided by. It was a mesmerizing underwater world, and for the Williams family, it was a dream come true. But their thrill soon turned into an icy grip of terror when, out of the deep blue, two colossal bull sharks emerged. Their gray bodies, sleek and muscular, moved gracefully through the water. Their cold, unblinking eyes sent chills down the spines of the Williams family. The bull sharks, powerful apex predators, had appeared on the scene, and the family was now face to face with the untamed. These formidable creatures, known for their aggressive nature, circled the Williams family with an unsettling curiosity. The family's pulse quickened as they clung to the rocky cave's entrance. Martin, drawing on his years of experience, took the lead, guiding his family into forming a defensive circle. They watched the sharks' every move, keeping a close eye on their surroundings. The minutes stretched into hours as they waited for an opportunity to slowly retreat to the surface. The suspense was palpable as the Williams family inched their way back to safety. The sharks continued to circle, their black eyes locked onto the family, their razor-sharp teeth glinting in the filtered sunlight. In the final moments of their harrowing encounter, as the Williams family made their escape, one of the bull sharks lunged at Martin. Its teeth went straight through his oxygen tank, causing a sudden rush of bubbles and a sharp decrease in his air supply. Panic threatened to engulf him as his oxygen levels plummeted, and he knew that the injury could be life-threatening. With his air running out rapidly, Martin signaled to his family to continue their ascent, while he fought to control his breathing and keep his wits about him. The bull shark, seemingly satisfied with its bold move, retreated to the depths, leaving Martin to deal with the immediate crisis. In the end, after a nerve-wracking and exhausting struggle, Martin managed to surface with his family. He was injured, his oxygen tank damaged, but their survival was nothing short of miraculous. The Williams family returned home, their adventure etched in their memories as a tale of suspense and survival. Martin's injury served as a stark reminder of the perils of the deep, and they all shared a profound sense of awe and respect for the untamed world beneath the waves.
Behemoth like that was enough for any fisherman. The day went on and the group caught some smaller fish as well as the occasional grouper. But it started going wrong when Sam managed to hook one. His battle with the fish was cumbersome and difficult. But Sam managed to pull the fish up by himself, as it wasn't as large as the previous fish they caught. As it floated on the surface, they noticed that the fish was tangled in a mess of netting and their line inhibiting its movement. Sam reached for his cutters and went to cut the netting from the fish before removing the hook, but it was tightly wrapped around the fish's tail and back fins. He pulled at it to gain some slack, but to no avail. The fish was bleeding and clearly in pain, so Sam set to work on cutting the netting away. As he was making progress, the fish recovered from the fatigue and started thrashing in the water, getting Sam's hand caught in the netting and pulling him overboard. He fell behind the fish, and only his arm was visible across the top of it, but the group's panic subsided when they saw Sam, smiling and saying he was okay. He still had his cutters and managed to free his hand and the few remaining strands of netting before Thomas pulled the hook from its mouth, and it was on its way. Sam chucked the netting in the boat so it could be repurposed or thrown away safely, and he kept treading water as Thomas called him a crazy bastard for doing what he did. Sam waved him off and remarked how he wouldn't forget that one. He was still smiling at what had happened, but Thomas realized that something was wrong. His blood turned to ice as he saw the surface of the water distort and splash, which Sam didn't notice. A giant red maw erupted from the water and engulfed Sam's head, pulling him under the water within a second. That single second seemed to span a lifetime as Thomas saw his best friend's life end in front of him. Thomas and the instructors yelled in surprise and stared in shock as they processed what they had just seen. They ran to the railing and looked to see where Sam was, but all they saw was his body floating just below the surface. They later confirmed that a great white shark had most likely smelled the chum and bait used to lure the groupers to the boat and took its chance with Sam. Thomas immediately leaped into the water and grabbed Sam's body, helping the others haul it up into the boat. The shark was nowhere to be seen. He fell to the floor as the reality of the situation crashed down on him, and he began sobbing uncontrollably. One of the fishermen pulled Thomas to the side and shielded him from the sight of Sam's body, while the other wrapped the body in a spare tarp to preserve his dignity. The trip back to shore was silent and dreadful, with Thomas falling into fits and panic attacks over the incident. The floor and sides of the boat were covered in blood from both the fish and Sam's body. Emergency services were called, which took Sam's body to wait for his family to arrive. By that time, a curious crowd of pace that offered both breathtaking scenery and the chance to capture stunning shots of one of the ocean's most awe-inspiring predators, the tiger shark. As Ryan arrived in Tiger Beach, he was struck by the stunning beauty of the place. He spent several days getting familiar with the area, marveling at the incredible underwater world that surrounded him. The turquoise waters were crystal clear, revealing a world of wonder and mystery beneath the surface. As he dived deeper into the water, Ryan was greeted by schools of brightly colored fish that darted playfully around him. The vibrant colors of the fish stood out against the backdrop of the coral reefs, their movements hypnotic and mesmerizing. The sun's rays filtered through the water, casting a golden glow on everything in its path. The light danced on the sea floor, creating a magical, almost otherworldly ambiance that took Ryan's breath away. He felt as if he had entered another dimension, one where the laws of physics and reality were slightly altered. As Ryan lost himself in the underwater world, his senses were completely engulfed by the awe-inspiring scenes that unfolded before him. The coral reefs, in all their resplendent glory, had become the focal point of his attention, and the schools of fish that swam past him appeared to dance with an ethereal tune. However, he had become oblivious to the predator that was inching closer to him from behind. A shadowy presence, lurking just beyond his periphery, stalked him with a silent grace, biding its time until it could strike. Ryan was utterly unaware of the imminent danger that was about to befall him. As if struck by a bolt of lightning, Ryan felt an excruciating pain jolt through his body. A sharp, searing sensation ripped through his left leg, and a muffled scream of agony escaped his lips. His heart raced with terrible realization as he recognized the source of his torment. A 13-foot tiger shark had clamped down on him with a ferocity that made his bones quake. Its powerful jaws, lined with razor-sharp teeth, ripped through his flesh with a frightening force. Ryan's mind raced as he struggled to comprehend the gravity of the situation. His worst nightmare had become a reality, and he was at the mercy of a fearsome predator, with no escape in sight. As the shark clamped its jaws down on Ryan's leg, its powerful muscles thrashed about, throwing him around like a toy in a fit of fury. The water turned a deep shade of crimson as Ryan's blood seeped out, mixing with the salt water. The sharp, serrated teeth of the tiger shark tore through his skin and muscle, causing unimaginable agony that shot through every nerve ending in his body. The pain was all-consuming, knocking out any other thoughts or sensations, and Ryan was left to endure the brutal assault of the predator in a world of pain and terror. Ryan tried to kick the shark repeatedly, but his efforts were futile against the shark's incredible strength. In one sickening crunch, the shark bit off Ryan's leg completely, severing it from his body with ruthless efficiency. As Ryan's muffled screams fell on the deaf ears of the ocean, the shark prepared to strike again, stalking its prey as it circled around him. Ryan's strength was waning, and his mangled leg was drowning him in pain. The shark lunged once more, its jaws gaping wide, ready to finish the job it had started. But this time, Ryan was prepared. Instinctively, he reached for the knife on his waist and plunged it into the shark's eye with all his might. The shark recoiled in pain, thrashing wildly in the water before retreating into the depths of the ocean. But Ryan's victory was short-lived. He was almost out of breath, his vision growing dim as he fought to stay conscious. As Ryan lost all hope, he saw a local diver approach him, a glimmer of hope in an otherwise hopeless situation. The diver managed to pull Ryan towards his boat, performing first aid as he called for rescue. Despite the diver's valiant efforts, Ryan's condition was critical. He drifted in and out of consciousness during the journey towards the hospital. Despite the guide's warning, Lisa's panic had already taken over. Her splashing movements had attracted the lurking predator towards her, and the shark was closing in. Its sleek gray body glided through the water with ease, its dark, lifeless eyes fixed on Lisa. Suddenly, the shark lunged at Lisa. The sound of teeth crunching through bone echoed in her ears as the massive tiger shark clamped down on her left leg. She felt the searing pain shoot through her body, and she let out a blood-curdling scream. The shark's teeth sliced through her flesh like a hot knife through butter, leaving a gaping wound that gushed blood into the ocean. Lisa felt her consciousness slipping away as the pain became too much to bear. Her vision blurred, and she struggled to stay awake, but eventually succumbed to the darkness. The guide's heart raced with adrenaline as he saw Lisa's body sinking rapidly into the abyss. With a burst of energy, he kicked his way towards her, determined to save her. But as he reached her, a sudden chill ran down his spine. From the murky depths emerged the same tiger shark, its massive jaws wide open, ready to strike again. The guide's heart pounded in his chest as he watched in horror as the shark bit off Lisa's other leg in a single swift motion. The guide's blood ran cold as he watched in horror as the massive tiger shark ripped off Lisa's limbs one after another, leaving her helpless and mutilated in its wake. He was frozen in fear, unable to process what was happening before his very eyes. The shark's powerful jaws snapped and tore at her flesh, its razor-sharp teeth sinking deep into her body, causing blood to cloud the water. As Lisa's body was being torn apart, the guide felt a sickening feeling in the pit of his stomach, knowing that he had failed to protect her. His mind raced with thoughts of what he could have done differently, but it was too late. The shark, having taken its fill, grabbed Lisa's lifeless carcass and dragged it down to the murky depths of the ocean, leaving the guide in a state of shock and disbelief. He felt helpless, his mind numb as he tried to process the tragedy that had just unfolded before him. The other tourists and members of the diving crew frantically reached out to the authorities, their voices trembling as they recounted the gruesome attack. The authorities quickly dispatched a team of search and rescue divers to scour the surrounding waters, their powerful flashlights cutting through the murky depths like blades. But as they searched and searched, the bleak reality began to set in. There was no hope in finding Lisa alive. After 2 days of searching, all that was found was Lisa's oxygen tank, with scratch and bite marks on its sides. The incident served as a haunting reminder of the unpredictable nature of apex predators and the dangers that lay hidden beneath the tranquil waters of the great. Shook the vessel violently, sending Diana hurtling towards the edge. The floor heaved beneath her feet.